Alright, so looking at this question, we need to find out how many milliliters of barium nitrate are required to precipitate a barium sulfate if all the sulfate ions are from 25 ml of a 0.35 mol per litre aluminium sulfate. Okay, so let's firstly just write a balanced equation and then we'll have a look at what we do and don't know. So our first step with our balanced equation is our barium nitrate plus our aluminium sulfate then forms our barium sulfate and our aluminium nitrate. Okay, looking at this equation, at the moment we do not have enough aluminium on the right hand side, so we need to put a 2 in front of that, so that then balances, and we also don't have enough sulfate on the left hand side, sorry, the right hand side, so we need 3 more sulfate, which then means we need 3 more barium. So now we have a balanced equation. Okay, so the next step is then to look at what do we know and what don't we know. Now we're going to be using the same 2 equations that we used last time, which is our volume equals moles over, our concentration equals moles over volume, and our mass equals moles over molar mass. So looking at the left-hand side of the equation, because that's the side that we're interested in, because we want to know how much barium nitrate do we need to precipitate this reaction here. However, we already know this side, so it's the left-hand side that we're interested in. So if we look at our 2 compounds that we are reacting, if we start with our barium nitrate, we can see that we know our concentration, which is 0.28 moles per litre. Do we know our volume? No. This is what we want to find out. This is our end goal. And do we know our moles? We also don't know our moles either. Now, because we need to work out, we need to use this equation, and we're missing 2 lots of information. So in order to work out our volume, we're missing 2 components. So that is where the other equation, N over MM, which comes in handy. So firstly, let's just have a look at our aluminium sulfate to see what we know about our aluminium sulfate. So for our aluminium sulfate, we know that we've got a concentration of 0.35 moles per litre. And we've also got a volume of 0.025 litres, and we don't know the mass either. But we've got more information with the aluminium than we do, the aluminium sulfate than we do with the barium nitrate. So what we're going to do is we're going to start solving based on using these 2 equations here and rearranging those equations to work out what we need to know that we don't know. So we have to start with our aluminium sulfate because we can then use the information from the aluminium sulfate to then work out the information that we don't have for our barium nitrate. So starting with our aluminium sulfate, what we want to do is we want to work out our missing component N. Okay, so to do that, we use the equation C over NV. Now we know C, which is 0.35, equals N over 0.025. We move this over to this side of the equation. We then get 0.35 times 0.025 equals N. So N equals 0.00875. So now we can get rid of this question mark because we've answered that N now equals 0.00875. Alright, Now we can use our mole ratio to work out the moles for our barium nitrate based on the ratio of how much aluminium sulfate it requires to then create our barium nitrate. So what we can do is, in this case, we can use N, the moles required for barium nitrate, which is our unknown, is equal to the number of moles for our aluminium sulfate. Okay, because these two, this one and this one, react together. So, if we can work out how much aluminium sulfate is required to form barium sulfate. Now we already know how many moles of aluminium sulfate we have because we just worked that out. So our equation then turns into N of barium nitrate over 0.00875. Now, if we have a look at our balanced equation, we can see that we need 3 lots of barium sulfate in order to make 1 lot of aluminium sulfate. So the mole ratio is 3:1. Now, if we want to then rearrange that equation, the only thing that we don't know in this equation is the mole value of barium nitrate. So we just need to move this over to this side and we will multiply it. So 3 divided by 1 times 0.0875. So if we do that, our moles of barium nitrate then equals 0.026. So now we've just filled in another one of our unknowns, which is this unknown up here. We now know that we have 0.026 moles of barium nitrate. So now we can use our equation C equals N over V to work out our volume of our barium nitrate, which is what the question's asking. So that's our next step. Okay, so we can now go C equals N over V, where we know our concentration is 0.28, which equals N, which is our unknown, over our, N is not our unknown. We know what N is, which is 0.026 over V, which is our unknown. Now we need to rearrange that equation so we move this over to here, and in doing that V equals 0.026 over 0.28. So V equals 0.0929 litres or 92.9 millilitres. And that's how we work out how many millilitres of our barium nitrate of a concentration of 0.28 mole per litre is required to then precipitate our products.